If there's one decision that is still being widely debated by a lot of people in the aftermath of India's loss to South Africa in the T20 World Cup Super 8s, it is the fact that the team essentially dropped vice captain Axar Patel for Washington Sundar because they felt that they would need Sundar's off spin for the matchups against three left-handers, three very dangerous left-handers that South Africa possess in, of course, Quinton de Kock, Ryan Rickelton and David Miller. However, the fact that Washington didn't bowl much, he bowled 2 overs, did kind of underline the fact that perhaps this was a bit of an unnecessary change. And the latest to join in on that chorus, whilst also offering some analysis on the entire matter, is Ravichandran Ashwin, who was left a little baffled at the fact that the call was made in the first place. Let's take a look at what it is he had to say. He said that, look, Axar Patel has been your MVP in T20 cricket. Let's not forget what he has done. His partnership with Virat Kohli in the 2024 final was key. And again, he's absolutely spot on here. Without that partnership that Axar and Kohli stitched together, you wouldn't have gotten to 170 odd. And it's not just his batting, it's also what he contributes with the ball that makes Axar practically undroppable. I say practically because for all intents and purposes, he was dropped because, again, they felt matchups. However, this matchups theory too has now been seemingly questioned by Ashwin, who in the same chat basically said that why is it that you're focusing on matchups in an ICC tournament? He gave some logic there as well, which is worth discussing. He said that, look, I agree that the IPL is good for looking at matchups because you're playing 14 games in the group stage itself. But in ICC campaigns, the more stable you keep the team, the better. And again, this is an interesting point because this concept of matchups as a whole is something that has come about largely in the shortest format of the game, T20 cricket. However, as he says, looking at matchups is more sensible in a 14-game league stage in the IPL because you're coming up against very different teams with very different skill sets more often than not. So therefore, analyzing the individual matchups there makes sense. However, for ICC tournaments, and history is in fact a good indicator of this, the teams with the most stable playing 11s are the ones who will go on to win matches. And India had a stable 11, which they then chose to experiment with, and it came back to haunt them. It's an interesting move and one that I did not agree with. Hindsight only proved me more right because, again, if you are trying to contend for 3 batters out of 8 who are left-handers, then you're ignoring the other 5 who could potentially cause some damage. And that's actually what happened because with Washington, they didn't bowl him in the power play. They gave him 2 overs in the middle and he did precious little with them. Axar, at his best, will contain the runs, but is also very consistently a wicket-taking option, and his ability to work in tandem with Varun was something that was surely missed a lot during the game against South Africa. But what are your thoughts on the matter? Let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.